recording again. Okay, so in weekday, basically, it will give me the day of the week. So a particular week has 7 days, right? All of the week has 7 days. So it's starting from the Sunday. So it will start the counting from 1 to 3 up to 7. So if I add like weekday underscore d, if I create a new variable, which will give me the weekday of a date, the date. So if my date is 8th Jan 2000, so the day will be 7th. 7th means last day, right? Last day of the week. So that will be Saturday, right? So this is how it's calculating the days, and this will be used if someone may ask that yeah, there will be a situation in which you will be working on the days when you need to identify the transactions on the days of Monday to Friday, and you do not want the information, or maybe on a particular day also. Like if someone asks that, give me those transactions which has been done on Monday onwards, Monday only, or maybe if I want to check that what are the products which are whose sales, like I'm working on the analytics part, and I want to identify that what are the items which are actually selling a lot on week high on the weekdays. So in those scenarios, you will be using the weekday logic. So it depends on the requirement to requirement. Okay. Date. So here I will use normal month, and it will give me. It's just like what you do in the SQL also. It's more so same. Logic will be same. I added month before the date. So these are the date specific function. One function md by a month, day, year. It will give you a date. So I have months, I have year, I have day. Now I want a complete date. What I can do? This is a way which has the data of month, year, and date, and these will be numeric only. Like apart from the name, rest of the values are numeric. Now I want a date. So because this is a birthday, will be date format, right? And date 9 dot. I provided the format to store this as a date. MDY is basically to provide you a date. If you have month, day, year, it will basically give you a date, which will be a combined which will be form of with these three works. Okay, let's check this function. Sorry, this data set. So we'll have month of birthday, which will be 13th October 1981. This is in date format, right? Because we provided the format to store this date. So this has been stored in date format. MDY is basically if you have data of month, year, and day, only MDY, and then provide the information. Practical uses. Let's check it out. So from the higher date, you can get the month, day, and year. Now high date one is basically it will give you a combined date, right? Now if they are saying that if high date not equals to high date 1, then flag 1. So this is basically for those scenarios when your dates are not matching, right? When dates are not correct. So you can use a flag for that, right? So flag is basically a variable which is to store if these two dates are same or not. So you can use in other ways also, like suppose what I did, like I took the month from a particular date, and I took the maybe I have month and I have day. Now I want to use those existing dates of the last year, and I want to create the same date of the current year. So I can just change the year and I can create it. Suppose I want to identify the that what will be the holidays for this year, US holidays for this year, something like that. So I know that 4th July will be like holiday for this year also, for the next year also. There will be some other holidays also which will fall on the same date. So I can take the dates from the earlier year, and I can use this for the next year. I just need to update the year only, something like that. So, date and today. Today function is basically to get the date of current day. So the current date. Okay. So we provided the sasuser.emp data format. Okay. CURR current, right? ENT, and then current date 9. In current we use today. In cur date we use date. So you can use date or you can use today. Both will give you the current date. So you can use these functions. And when you will be working on the macros, you will be using sysdate also. I'll tell you at that point of time. But today is basically to calculate the current date. Put I told you that put function is the data. My data is in it's in numeric, and I want to make it characters to convert the numeric values to the character values. So you can convert the numeric data to character data, and then for Input is basically to convert character to numeric. How I remember this, in input we have in is like integer, so this is for converting into numeric. Put is basically for converting the data into character. Okay, so let's take this example. So this is data, name, age, and month salary, right? So now I need a new variable which is name, age, and what data I need there, that name and then pipes and then age. Okay, so here if I use this, that name, I know that name is in character, right? And then age is in numeric. So, okay, this is how it's showing the values. Okay, what if I make a change here and I want to convert the age. So what I'll do, put age. This is numeric. I want to make it character. The format of age is 2 dot. So while you'll be using the put, you will also have to provide that this date is in this 2 dot format. Now let's check the values. Earlier, remember, there were many spaces before this date, right? Now there is only one space. There is no space because both are the characters now. This has been converted. Even if you check the log, there also it will mention that here they have not put. Okay, so there were two observations read from the work, and then four variables. Okay, they have not provided the information corresponding. Like otherwise, you will also see that this value has been converted out into character. Okay, so I just, like earlier code was something like this. If I do not provide this put function, I just mention the age. Age is now numeric. I want to convert the numeric to character. So this we can take one, and another one when we used put to make it character. You have to close this and then you will run this. You will not open the table and then you will run this. You have to make sure that your data set is closed. Okay. So these are two. Name, age, one, name, age. So name, age, one, we kept this as a numeric only. Now we have converted it to the character, so this will show in this way. The extra padding has been removed while we are converting this. Okay, so this is how we'll be using the put function. So there will be cases you did a lot of analysis and you figured out a value. Now you want to convert that value as a character. So you'll be using the put function. What happened, like if you want to convert your value as a numeric, so you'll be using input function. So I will tell you how to do that. This is input. Input. So these are the same. This is the same data. Salary. My salary is in character. I want to convert my salary into numeric. I will use input, and then you will mention the name of the variable for which you want to do a calculation. So I want to do the calculation on month salary. What will be the format when this salary, which is at right now in character, and it will be converted in the numeric. So current format is comma 9.2 because you see the comma here. You see the comma 9 dot. This is a comma 9 dot format, 9.2 format, right? And then you can apply. You can calculate the yearly salary because this is your monthly salary, right? Now you want to calculate the annually salary. So annual salary you cannot calculate directly because this is a character. So of course, first of all, your step will be you will convert this value as a numeric, and then you will when this value will be numeric, you can easily multiply by 12 and you can get the result. The same thing we have done. So we'll be using this input function when we'll have a value which is in character format, and we may have to do the calculation. So before doing the calculation, we will have to convert this value into numeric. Is this example clear to everyone? Should I execute this code?
Yes, please.
Okay. Right. So here these are the values, and the salary is in, you can see the dollar here in character. Now I want the annual salary. For annual salary, what you will need to do, you will have to multiply this value with the 12. But this is a character value. In character value, you cannot multiply by the 12. It will give you an error. So what you will have to use, you will have to use the input function, which will convert the character, basically the character to the numeric. So what I will have to do here, I will write input and then month salary. After month salary, I will tell that my month salary is in comma 9.2 format. This is the in format, right? My salary is in this. I told you in the class also that comma 9 dot, that means if you calculate the numbers like 3, 5, 6, and then 3, 9, overall length is 9, and we have used a comma. Dollar sign is not present here if there is comma format. Comma 9, because the length is w dot d. Remember from the earlier class, comma w dot d, dollar w dot d, right? So and that dot 2 means up to 2 point of decimal. So this is up to 2 point of decimal. So you have to tell the in format of the month salary. Month salary in format is, month salary is in comma 9.2 format. Now you told about the variable name, you convert this complete into numeric. And then once it's converted to the numeric, you can calculate the yearly salary. Let's execute this and check out the result. So let's say it's X, we can write proc print, data equals to X and run. So that we do not have to open this again and again. Oh, okay. So this has been converted into numeric. There is no comma, there is no nothing else, right? Only numeric part. And then yearly salary multiplied by 12. Is it clear? Any doubt? Any question on this?
No, clear.
Okay, great. Catex and cat. You know the catex function. Everyone has its own work. So let's discuss about the catex. So catex function helps. So these are the catex, cats. These functions are basically for concatenation of data. Like so, suppose we have two string and we want to create a new string. We will be using these functions. Catex function helps us in concatenating the character string and no need of left trim. So basically, if you see that you have a name, right? You have a month and year and day, right? Now you want to concatenate these values. So in the catex, you will provide a delimiter, which with the help of which delimiter you want to concatenate year, month. We are creating a new, which is name join. So asterisk will be a segregator here. So let's execute this code. Okay. So here you can see that what we did, this we want to combine, right? We provided the name, day, year, month, and this should be segregated with the, first of all, it will have the delimiter, and join will have Amit asterisk 13 asterisk 1981 asterisk 10. You can also provide this space if you want to provide this. It will provide this space. You want hash, you can mention the hash. Whatever you want, you can provide. Important thing here. What catex function does, catex function takes a delimiter by which we want to take, concatenate with the help of which we want to do a concatenation. We can also use comma, which we want to use for the delimiter purpose. And then it does a left trim also. Left trim means it does a strip. I will say strip. Strip means if a name which has blanks in the beginning and okay, there's a question. No. Is anyone facing any issue in this screen sharing?
Not for me.
So is it working for you, Ali? Is it working now? Okay. All right. So let me know when you see a lot of egg. But right now I think it should be working fine. In case if you see again a lag, you can let me know. Okay. Name join is basically it will give a string which will be created from name, day, year, month, and the delimiter you can pass. Apart from that, what catex does a strip function, uses strip function in the backend. So all of these strings, which is like name, day, year, month, this will be used by strips, and then with the help of delimiter it will do the concatenation. So let's take another example, which is so that you can have an understanding of, like, you can make a comparison between these two. Since if you use a normal cat, you use a catex. Okay, I comment this out. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating a new variable, which is which is for name and sex. So okay, let's get this printed. This is the X variable. You can see that there is this, like here you can see that after every name there is a space. Some space is present, right? What if I used a cat X here? Instead of name, I can do something else also. Sex and age will be better to understand. Now let's use the cat X because we also read about the cat X. So I want to segregate it by space, and then I will use age. I will use, and I will close this out. Let's check out the difference between these two. X is 216M, 272, and in Y we have provided the space. Okay, so these two are, one is character, another one is numeric. So this will not be a good example. Let's use the X label instead of age because I want to show you the difference also. So here you can see that by default length was like 4. So it has combined the spaces also, right? And here I have provided a delimiter as a space, and it has only one space because I have mentioned in case of cat X, I mentioned the space delimiter as a space. So it has used one space only. But in this case, I have not mentioned anything, and by default, it what it did by default length is 4. So there was a space also that it combined that space. So this is the defect. It will not does it. It will not do any like trimming, right? If there is a heading or trailing spaces, those will be present. But in case of catex, it will give you option to provide the delimiter. It will also do the strip of the strings which we passed. So this is the difference between cat and catex. Catex, cat just combine to string. There is nothing. So no. Catex is more advanced, and we prefer to use catex. This is an example when we have used these fixes also to understand this better. Okay, x1 has a space before the string A. x2 has a space before B. x3 has a space after C. Now I want to use, you can use a range also, right? The same way as we have done in the sum, in case of sum. I want a concatenation of, so I used a cat of x1 to x3. Let's get this right, which will be stored in string. So A space B space C. A and then B space B because B already has a heading spaces, and then C. So this is giving the correct result which we want, right? Normal concatenation, A space B space C. If there is a one more space between C, it will give that space. And I want to do a concatenation on so we can use the catex also. All right. You can use the pipes also, which I told. Those are also like for the concatenation purpose. Cats, let's discuss, otherwise this is not very important. What is the difference between cat and catex? You know that, right? Cats. Gets suspended. Print. Data goes to. So you can see that earlier there were spaces, but now there is no spaces. When we used the same, when we did the same thing with the help of cat, y equals to cat, so it used a kind of a strip. It does a stripping. Here, if I used cat, you will see the difference. Right. So this is like here you can see that we have spaces. Here we have spaces. But in case of cats, it strips. So S is for stripping. So it strips the variable and then it does the concatenation, right? This is the difference between cat and cats. Series like you can use off, just like this sum. Cat is not important. This is index. Index is basically to give you the basically the first pattern where you can find the first pattern. It will give you the position of that. The find function is also used for searching for substring of characters in a character string, whereas a find C, we also have find C function, searches for individual character in a string. So the only difference between find and index is like index does not have any modifier. So normal, like let me tell you the index also here. If I used the index, if I use the find, from the X string I want to search the SAS. From the X string I want to search the SAS. SAS is my keyword which I want to search. Let's check out the value of Y and Z. So it give me the same result. Both give me the position of the SAS. Let's 4 letters, space 5, and then learn has 5. 5 and 5, 10, 11, again another space, and then we have SAS. So SAS is starting at the position number 12. So index and find will give me the same results. So why do we need to create two different need to create a find? The reason behind, in case of errors actually, so modifiers is like basically if you want to provide an option that it will search your name, it doesn't matter that if it's a case sensitive or not, right? So this is an example. My name is Amit, and then I want to find name. It doesn't matter if I mention the case. If my letter, if this string is in capital or small, it doesn't matter. Name, if it finds a name which is in capital, it will also give you the value. If the name is in small, it will also give you the value. So I is basically the modifiers. If I mention I, that means ignore the case. If you find in the small, then also you need to give me the value, the position of this name. I only need a match. It doesn't matter if the letters are data is in small or capital. So that's the reason that we had a need to create a find. In case of index, you cannot use the modifiers. You will have to use the exact case, like whether it's capital or small, you have to use the exact. T modifier, if you want to use, this is basically T modifier is for stripping purpose. Suppose you have a value which has, like I discussed one example in yesterday's class, which was for regarding like if I have a variable, so I have to use the suppose I will use that name. I give a name. Now if I give this, will it give me the same result? Let's check it out. So now I provide here, remove the space first and then check the result. 4. What will happen if I mention the space, one space also, and then I used just a minute. It will give me the first string. So what it did actually, it searched for the value which is starting. I provided the name which is like Amit and then space. So what happened if the name is now? I execute this. Again, the position is 3. Because name is, it's getting, sorry, I need to do it here. 0. So what it did actually, if I used a find and then I provide extra space. So extra space is basically what I can do here if I want to do exact match, because I may have to use first of all the strips and then I can use this. So T is not working. Maybe this has been otherwise if you will try this in 9.4, because it's not working in the 9.1, so it should work in the 9.4. In 9.4, if you provide the space also, it will strip that string and it will search for this string in the parent string, which is my name is like this, right? But if you provide a space at the end, it will give you the result, because your parent string has a space also after this. But try this in 9. By using the modifier T, try in 9.4. on demand it will work if you provide a space, trailing and heading space. And count, important. Count is basically for counting the word or maybe the other. It will. So in this case, the count is basically to give you the count of a particular variable. So if my string is like, I want to check how many times we have is something like this. Now what I can do, I can give the count, and in which function I want to use in X, and then I can mention that which. So count is basically, it will give you the count of is. It's 4 times, right? Now in case if something like this, and then it has, and then what will happen if, will it give me the right count? Yes. So whenever it's getting the is, like 4 times here and then 1 time here and then 1 time here, 6. So if you need to find a pattern, a particular pattern in the string and how many times it's getting repeated, you can use, like, it's just control F you are using, and it will give you the result that this is at this position also. So it's giving you the count of is. Modifier can be like the count again. Take 2 modifiers similar to find. You can use the I and T, ignoring the spaces. So suppose I mention this I in capital and then S in small. Now let's check this count. If I do not provide the modifier, it will give me a count of I, sorry, S5. Now if I used a modifier, that it should ignore the case, whether it's in capital or small. Sorry, I need to provide the codes also. So I provided the modifier, it will give me the count of 6. If you do not provide the modifier, it will, data is always case sensitive, so you have to provide either you have to provide the modifiers, and but you cannot provide the modifier in each and every function. It depends on the functions which can use the modifiers, and what there are functions which cannot use the modifiers. So otherwise data is always case sensitive. It will give you 5 if you search the is in small, and if you search the is in capital, it will give you 1. But if you make a I here, as I mentioned the modifier, that it is not, ignore the case. Is not case sensitive. It will give you result 6. Clear? Any question on this?
No.
Count W is basically for counting the words in a string. So here you can see that we counted in the X. We have not mentioned anything. So by default, it will give you the by default it will take these spaces blanks. If we do not, most of the time, if we do not provide any anything which we want to count, it will give us the by default it will give us the spaces, count of the spaces. And otherwise what it does actually, it gives you the count of the words which present on the basis of spaces which is present in your string, right? So my string has like my I talk about this string. So this is my string, right? So how many words are here? By default it will take, if I use the count W and I do not mention anything which will segregate my string. So by default it will take the space and it will give me the words. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. It will give me 6, right? So it's always, if you count that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, always the number of spaces plus 1, and you can see spaces are the segregator. It has, your string has 5 words. You will not use this a lot. It's very rare when you will use these things. Int. two interesting functions for there, int, ck, and int. Okay, int is basically, it will give you the integer part. So I used int 123.89. It will give me 123. Only the integer part, right? Rounding. Rounding. What does rounding like? You must have used the rounding in day-to-day life. So if your number is 123.89 and you want to use a rounding which is up to 2 places of decimal, you will mention, like, if you want up to 2 places or 3 places, you will always mention that. By default, it will take, like, if you have not mentioned anything, by default it will round it to the like integer only. Okay, so these are the numbers 123.89. After the rounding, if I have mentioned the like, I want to round this number, like if you see here, up to 2 places, so it will round the numbers up to 2 places. So 123.89 up to 2 places, like by default 9 will be converted as a, like, 8 will be 9, so 9 will remove 8 will be 9, 9 will remove 3 will be 4. Like if it's more than 0.50, so in this case it will be converted as a 1. And then 123.28. 123.28, it's less than 5. So it will be 123. 123.46, less than 0.5. It will be 123. 123 itself 123. 123.55, it will be converted to 124. If the value after decimal is more than 0.5, it will be converted to the next level. Otherwise, it will be go to the previous level. You know the difference between these roundings, right? In maths also you must have used this. Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll give you the count. So and these will be using when we'll be working on the procedures. I also need to teach you the procedures. Okay. In one class we will discuss about the procedures. Okay. So those are the part of the advanced tests. So we'll be working on these. Um, First of all, we will start. We know about the proc print and proc sort, but there are multiple other procedures. So I will cover some of the procedures, like reporting. For reporting purpose, I will tell you the transpose. I will tell you the other statistics related means, very important, proc frac and transpose, and then there are multiple others, data sets and all. So I will tell you those functions, those procedures. I will schedule a particular, I think it will take a day or so. So I will, after working on the SQL, we will be working on the procedures. And then we will move towards the macros. Right. So n is nothing, just it will give you the number of observations in your. So n function is for calculating the number of observation in a data set. It's for counting purpose. Nmiss will give you the missing values in a particular variable, right? So int ck, this is important. I will explain this in detail. Int ck and int, like people generally ask, what is the difference between int ck and int nx? Give me the syntax also. So int ck, if you see the name, how you can remember the difference between these two? Int ck is, I keep in mind that basically for counting the intervals. C for counting the intervals. So int ck functions return the value of complete interval passed between two dates. It can take difference argument, like the difference can be in weeks, in days, in months, in year. So let's take one example of this. We are taking 2 dates. So these are 2 dates. Now I am using that, I'm telling SAS that input x comma date 9 dot. I'm converting these dates into numeric, right? And then what I'm doing, int ck week, I'm calculating the days between these two dates, which is x1 and x2, right? So let's execute this. There is another way of doing this. Let's do in this way. Okay, so it will give you the number of weeks, number of months, number of year. So 31st Jan, so 31st December 2010, 1st Jan 2011. Now input is basically to converting these into numeric, right? Int ck. Now important thing, int ck from here. Int ck. First of all, it will take like in what like basically to calculating the difference between two dates. So how you want the difference, how you want to calculate the difference. I want to calculate the difference in form of weeks. How many weeks are between these two dates? So x1 and y1. X1 is your first date, y1 is your later date, right? Lower date in x1, later date in y1. So it will give me the difference between two dates in weeks. Z2. If I want a difference in month, I will mention the month. If I want a difference in year, I will mention the year. Okay. So 31st December 2010 and then 1st December, 1st Jan 2011. If you see the difference is very limited, right? It's just a 1 day difference. So in case of week, it will give you 0. But in case of month, the month difference is 1. How the month difference will be 1? Earlier was December, the next one is January. The month difference is 1. Okay. Let's discuss about the year difference also. The year difference, how it actually calculates. It calculates on the basis of these years. It will subtract the year from first to second, right? So this is how it does the calculation. So I generally prefer to use data diff, date diff. So, but this is really important if someone asks you in the interview. So int ck is for calculating the difference between two dates. You can pass the parameter how you want to calculate. Int nx. What is the use of int nx? Int nx is basically to advancing a date. If you want to int nx function increments the day, year or month on the specified date you want to put as well. Okay, so how you can use this? Suppose my date is sorry. My date is 13th October 1981. And I want this date to be advanced by 3 months, right? So what you can do, you can use the int nx month x comma 3 comma e. That means advance my date by 3 months, month, and then which date you want to do a shifting for which date. I will provide the variable name x, and then how many months you want to advance it. 3. E for give you the exact date. So it will shift your date up to 3 months. Now, if I want to print this date, so this is my, for X, I can provide the format. So here you will have to provide the format. So it will give you the proper format. X date 9 dot. So this was my earlier date, and then I shifted this date with 3 months. After 3 months, it will be 31st Jan 1982, right? So October, and then it November, and then December and January. So E is basically for exact month. If you want to shift it exactly 3 months, right? If you do not mention the E here, what it does actually, it will give you the date which is just after 3 months. So first of the like 1st Jan 1982. So there are other parameters also. It will give you the after 3 months, whatever will be the first day, it will give you that. If you want the exact, so you will mention the E. There are other also like other modifiers also which you can use. Like we have mentioned the same, like I have used the E, and then in case if I want the same date, what will be the exact same? So that will be 13th. Like after 3 months, what will be the same date? Like 13 is today, and after 13 months, same date. If you want you can mention the like after 3 months, what will be the it will give you basically the ending, and then you can mention the B also. B will give you, if you do not mention anything, it by default it will give you the beginning of the month. So first, but if you mention the like B, E, and the same beginning, ending, and the same. So as per the requirement, and there are other things also, other modifiers also. So you can explore those things. But 3 you can remember. B is for beginning, E for ending, and same for same date. but after 3 months only. So these BE. Data diff and date diff is also for to get the same way how NTK works. This also work in the same way. It give you the difference between two dates. Right? These are the dates, and I want a difference x1, x2, actual. So this is for it will give you the actual date, the modifier name. There I used. So we have two dates. 13 October 1981, 3rd April 2016, 2012, sorry. I want the difference between these two dates. So what I have provided, this is my Z3 and Z4. I want the difference between two dates, like year difference. So you will mention year diff. If you want a date difference, it will give you the actual number of days between two dates. So these are the actual number of days between two dates, right? And this is your, if you have mentioned that I have mentioned year difference, so these are the year difference. So suppose I want to know the date of age of someone. So what I can do, I can like this is my today's date, right? So what is the today's date? Today's date is 26, and then we have 26th of June 2016, right? Now this is the date of birth and this is current date. I want the uh, age of a person. I want to know the age of a person. So what I can do, I can use a so Z4 will give me the number of days. If I divide this Z4 by 365.24, this will give me the actual date, 34 years, around 34 years, 34.70. So you can calculate the days and you can divide by 365.24. That will give you the exactly date. This is how you can calculate the age also. You have the date of birth, you have the current date, and then you can calculate the number of days between the difference of number of days between two dates, and then divide by 365.24. It will give you the number of years exactly. You can use the today function also if you do not want to if you want to make this code um, ready to use for others. So you can use the today function. Reverse is basically if you want to just reverse the order of the string, so you can use the reverse. ABC, CBA. So you just need to mention reverse. Okay, let me tell you one important function. So these functions are 37 functions we have discussed, but there are other functions, 2-3 functions more, which I would like to discuss in today's class only. Khaleesi function and lag function, very important. Khaleesi function. People ask that what is the Khaleesi function? So Khaleesi function is suppose you have a data which has missing values, right? And you want to replace that missing values with something. So what I did, wherever we have a level high, then age equals to dot. What is mean? In the first understand this. I made a copy of SAS user.admit inside the temp, and then what I did, wherever we have X level high, then I set a age equals to dot. What I did, why I did so, because I wanted, I need for to understand this thing better. I need a data set which has missing values. So to create a data set with missing values, I use this logic. Nothing else is there, right? So temp has been created. Inside the temp, wherever we have high, we have missing values. So basically to create missing values in the age, I use this trick. Now what is the use of Khaleesi function? Okay, let's open this. What I did, I can see that my data set has many missing values. So what I did, Wherever we have a missing age, in the place of missing age, what it can do, it can put the height, right? So how we can use that? We can use the Khaleesi function. Khaleesi function will check actually in these two variables, whatever non-missing variable will be the first, it will return that value in the age. Or I can create a new variable, which is age underscore new. Let's open the temp one. In the temp one, if you see age, what I did, if age is missing, then set the value of height. So in this case, age was missing, so it set the value of height. If age is missing, set the value of height. Height 66. Age is not missing, so put the value of age. So what it does actually, it give you the first non-missing value. If you have like there will be situation when you will have the values something like you have the data of A1, A2, A3, and whatever has the non-missing value, that value should be returned. Suppose A1 has 2 and A2 has dot and then 4, then dot and then dot and then 4, and then dot and 4 and then dot, sorry, and 3 dot 5. So I want the first in these three values, I want the first non-missing value. What will be the first non-missing value? 2. What will be the first non-missing value? Tell me, any one of you. What will be the first non-missing value?
4.
4. Right. What will be the first non-missing value? 4.
4.
What will be the first non-missing value?
3.
3. Cool. So this will be used when you have to use multiple variables and you want a first non-missing value. So this will be very helpful when you will be working on the on the PTOs, or maybe you will be working working on the what is most available drugs, right? Something like that. So there will be situations when you'll be using this Khaleesi function. So it's really important. Otherwise, if you use if else condition, it will be really difficult for you to find these values. So another use, what we can use this. So another example how we can use this. Okay. Now we created another dataset temp1. Whenever we have a missing value, we know that age has multiple missing values in temp. So whenever we have a missing value, set that value as 100. This single code will that, right? So how it will do that? Let's open the temp one. Whenever we had a missing value, age, like, sorry, this is the old one. There's something wrong. We'll have to close this. Yeah. We know that this was the missing value, age, so it put the 100, and then wherever we have 100, that was the missing value, and it put the 100. You can put any number which you want. Like if you want to put the 200, you can mention the 200 also. That whenever it find the missing value in the age, if you find the any value which is non-missing should be put in the age, whether it's age or it's 200, right? 100, right? So you can put any of the value. Is it clear what Khaleesi function does? It just put the non-missing value first.
Yes, clear.
Okay, great. Leg function. This is also very important. Where we'll be using the leg function actually. I think I should start from the first one. Okay, so we have our beer and we have prices. What do you understand by lag? By name, Just what you understand. What is the meaning of lag? Any one of you? Lag is like behind. Something is behind, not on up to date, right? It can be behind by a particular interval, or it can be behind by without any sequence. So generally, it's lagging with a particular time or a particular number or anything, right? So how we can use this functionality which SAS has provided? So here you can see we have year and we have prices, right? Now I want the new prices. Like I know that this is 2001 prices. I want to check what will be the 2000. Here is the 2002 prices. Now here I want a new variable and I want the prices of the earlier year. So what I did, price underscore new equals to lag price. Just put this and execute this. What it does. Okay. Price, this is year and price I have. Price underscore new, I used a lag function in this price. What lag function does, it will give you the value of the previous. So in the first time, we have nothing as the previous price, previous year price. But in this case, 2002, what will be the previous year? 2001. So I can use the previous year's price by using a lag function. So 1000 and this 1200 will come here, this 1500 will come here. So it will shift the values by one observation, right? Shifting the one observation. So in the first place, there was nothing previous, so it's dot. In case of 1200, the previous price was 1000. In case of 1500, the previous price was 1200. So I put it here. 1800, it was previous price 1500. Do you understand the working of the lag now?
Yeah, understand.
Okay, great. Now, how we can use this functionality? Suppose I want to check the percentage difference of the prices in the previous year and the current year. So what I can do, I can create a variable price raise. So what will be the price raise? This year price minus previous year price. So I have two variables now, price and price underscore new. I just need to subtract these values, and then this will be give me the difference of the prices with the previous year and the current year, and then I can divide with the price. Suppose your salary was like right now your salary is around 15 lakhs, right? Now you got a hike of 50%. What will be the new salary? Your salary is like suppose 16 lakhs, right? And now you get a hike of 15%. What will be the new salary?
70 lakhs,
16 lakhs is current, right? 50% hike means 8 lakhs more, right? 16 plus 8 is 24. The new salary will be 24 lakhs, right? So this is how we calculate the difference. So now your salary is 24 lakhs and earlier was 16 lakhs. I want to know what is your percentage hike. How will you calculate? 24 minus 16, which is your 8, right? Divide by the previous price, your salary, divide by 16 multiplied by 100. So what we did here, we calculated the difference between these two prices of the previous prices and the current prices, and then we divide this number with the previous price, which is price only, right? And then we used, this is a format, percentage format. We used a percentage format. Percentage format equals to percent 8.2. So this will give you the in the percentage. So now calculate it. So here you can check the price, 1000. In case of 1200, 1000 was the previous price. What was the difference? 1200 minus 1000. This 200. 300, 15 minus 12, 300. What will be the percentage? How you will calculate the percentage? 1200 divide by, 200 divide by 1200 multiplied by 100. So this will calculate, give you the percentage. So this is how you can use a format which will give you the exact value in the percentage. So this is how you can calculate the percentage also. Is it clear?
Yes, clear.
So you will have to try these examples. I will share the codes and we will try these examples at home. I will take one more example on the lag. Country and then year we have prices. For country A, we have for this year, we have some prices. For country A, we have for the next year, we have prices. So this is one example in which what we have done, we have used the first dot country, then do new prices, and then the difference. So first dot, last dot, you know. Why we use first dot, last dot? It can be used to identify the duplicate values. It can be used to identify the unique values, right? So first of all, if I use the first dot, last dot with the country, I will use a 01. I will make my chart in the backend because I am new to the SAS. And then I will use the lag price also. And I will apply the condition. If not first dot country, that means if it's not the first time, why we use if not first dot country? So that by default, it will, in the case of first in the lag, it will give me the values, the price value, which will be dot. So we use this and the new price and the difference of the prices. This logic is just for the purpose to understand that if you can see the differences and the year prices here. So these were the prices, this was the country. For a country, the first will be missing, right? The new price will be missing for each and every country. So that's the reason that we use the lag in this way. This is one thing which I will share, the code I will share, and you will take a look and you will let me know that if you do not understand this thing. Because I told you about the lag, I told you the first dot, last dot. Now it's your responsibility to understand this code. And if you are not able to understand this code, I will explain you that how to and also I will understand that where we are lacking, so that next time we'll be working on that. So I will give this code to you and you will work on this code. Okay, so we discussed about the lag, we discussed about the Khaleesi function, we discussed about 37 functions others. So these are all of the most of the functions I have covered, right? So I do not think that any of the functions which is missing, which is important and which is missing from the list. If there are 2-3 functions, you can work on those functions. Okay, SubSTR and scan. You were not in the class earlier, so I request you to go through the video which I have shared, because scan and SubSTR functions are two very important functions. I will use these functions a lot while we'll be working on the macros. So you need to make sure you work on these functions right now. All right. Anything else? Anybody want to discuss any concerns related to exercises or anything else?
Parul, can we have all these exercise with us?
Okay. So you want the codes of all of these exercises, all of the things which we have covered as of now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will provide you the whatever is important. I will provide you those codes, and if you want this most of these codes, so I will provide those also. No problem. So, but you will do a practice.
Yeah. For practice purpose, I need this exercises as well.
Okay, no problem. I will give you the codes also, and I will give the exercises also, because when you will be working, I have given 2 exercises earlier. I just received the I think Venkat shared the code when we were discussing the exercises, and then Ali shared the code. No one else has shared the code as of now. So I request all of you that please go through the exercises, work on that. It will not take more than 1 hour. And if you have any question, reach out to me. And then because I will give you the exercises on these functions also. So if you do not complete your homework on day-to-day basis, I will discussing the new things and it will be difficult for you to be in sync. So please do the exercises and I'll share the codes. I will share the exercises also. So, but before that, I request that complete the pending exercises and send it to me.
Sure, we will.
Okay. All right. So we'll discuss about the arrays in the next class. We will discuss about the set and rename. And we will discuss about what else? Some of these statements. We have discussed about the, okay, we also need to discuss about the library engines. So I will discuss those things also, because that is very rare. Like people generally do not use that, but that is really interesting. So I will tell you, and it's a bit logical. So we'll start with the fresh one. So in the next class, we will discuss about the array. We will discuss about set and rename, and in the next to next class, we will discuss about the how to get data from the Excel, and then I will give you the exercise also. And it will be a test at the end of the base test also.
That's what.
All right. So anything else anybody want to discuss?
Parul, this is
Yeah.
Suresh. Just checking if you can share the study material as well.
Yep.
Like we have been discussing all this well, but did not have anything to refer back other than the
So
class.
do you have the earlier data which I shared? I shared the content of the which contains the theory part also.
Yeah, I have that data. So,
Okay. All
so
right.
always refer back to that data, is it?
Yeah, you need to refer the data because that contains the details corresponding to these things which I have covered in the class. But for the functions, I need to provide you the codes, and also I will provide you the details, like because as of now we have discussed the codes, but there are certain things which as a part of theory. So I will provide those things also. So I will provide the data corresponding to functions.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. All right. So we'll connect in the next class. One more thing I just wanted to know, like if I think some of you are working from the I think attending this class from the Australia. So I just wanted to know, like, if we can schedule this class maybe 2 hours earlier. Okay, I'll check with the group also. So in case if we can start this class a bit early.
Fine, Parul. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, that should
Yeah,
be fine.
that one would be fine.
Okay. All right. All right. So I'll connect on the group because there are other people also which are not present in today's class today. So okay, let's decide if everyone is agree on the new time. So we can maybe schedule this meeting for 11 to 1 or something like that. Maybe in morning. So we'll decide the time. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Parul. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Parul.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.